Hi, this is a presentation about our vulnerable population, which is the homeless population, and the environmental and cultural factors that affect this population. This presentation was made by Abigail Baylor, Britannia Doxator, Jamie Hinsey, and Bailey Holmes. The first cultural factor that we're going to talk about is the media. In most instances, the media does not portray homeless individuals in an accurate way. Most media outlets have a biased opinion about the problem of homelessness and homeless individuals. However, there is a positive thing about the media in that sometimes they can create awareness for the needs of homeless individuals, and especially during the holiday season, the media can help bring awareness to the needs of this population. With family, a lack of family support and love, homeless individuals can turn to, without a lack of family support and love, homeless individuals can turn to destructing behaviors. When individuals don't feel supported, they are less motivated to change their lives for the better. This can lead to overall decline in health status. The role of peers in the homeless population is that peers can play a big role into the lives of any individual. Specifically for the homeless, peers can bring negative and positive influence. Positive influences include encouragement for healthy relationships, healthy behaviors, and utilization of homeless support in the community. Negative influences include participation in destructive behaviors, discouragement in proactive health services, and encouragement of social isolation. There is a cyclical nature with with the homeless population, um, in that it is hard to leave in some instances, especially when the cycle has been around for generations. Um, the National Alliance to End Homelessness states that adults and children in families make about 33% of the homeless population. It is also shown that with making short-term goals, it can help this population break the cycle and make progress. Short-term goals help these individuals see the efforts they are making every day, and that can make a difference in the long run because they are seeing these short-term goals being met. The legal and political system. According to the article, a cruel and unusual way to regulate the homeless, extending the status crime doctrine to anti-homeless ordinances, the homeless population is forced to choose between breaking the law for basic necessities like food and shelter versus going without and staying as law-abiding citizens. This article shows that the law system views the issues associated with the homeless as a difficult problem that requires strict solutions. This attitude has spurred the nickname anti-homelessness ordinances, and these ordinances are those that prohibit the public conduct associated with being homeless, including sleeping, sitting, and sharing food. Breaking these laws can lead to incarceration and a sabotage of rights. In Utah, Operation Rio Grande is a project that is aimed at reducing the amount of homeless individuals in three various phases that involve increasing the availability of rehabilitation for drug abuse or mental illness, and providing resources to reduce individuals without shelters, and that's according to the state of Utah. While Operation Rio Grande has good intent to help this population, anti-homeless laws are still in effect and can put this population in a tight situation between being honest and being alive. Potential barriers for this population. There are many factors that can contribute to cultural barriers within the homeless population. Many homeless youth identify as LGBTQ, and this puts them at a higher risk for victimization while they are homeless. In fact, a lot of the homeless youth have ran from home because they have a lack of support due to how they identify and their sexuality. Some homeless individuals are refugees and have different cultural and linguistic backgrounds, which leads to barriers for emergency services. Homeless women are often hesitant or refuse to ask for social support because they feel that they have used up their resources. And also, there is a poor stigma with homeless individuals in which they are blamed for their state of homelessness. And by blaming the homeless individuals, it decreases support for them. According to Our World in Data, homelessness in many other countries is more culturally acceptable, and that's due to a high rate of homelessness, as poverty is a typical way of living. Some countries in the Middle East are violent towards those who are in poverty, which could be related to the association of high levels of crime. However, attitudes are generally kinder towards this population than in the US. The homeless are found in the poor socioeconomic status category and suffer from chronic diseases and poor mental health. Nearly 40% of homeless are found to have some type of chronic health problem. Poor health and mental status can be related to lack of housing, resources, and jobs to supply sufficient support for the homeless. Homelessness is a local and national concern, as individuals and families are raised in poor income situations and unable to provide for themselves and their families. Race and ethnicity are factors that contribute to where and how a person is born and raised. And in the chart, there is, you can compare and contrast race, ethnicity with the homeless. Faith, religion plays into homelessness because faith-based organizations are able to help the homeless and poor as their focus is holistic care. They offer many resources to the homeless, including food and shelter, as well as educational resources to increase life skills and learning. Gender can play into homelessness. Men are more likely to commit and be arrested for violent crime while they're homeless. It's also more common for men to become homeless than it is for women. However, in homeless women, they are more likely to engage in self-destructive behavior. Females are also more likely to become victims of sexual assault, rape, and exploitation. There's high-risk drug use with women, and they also have difficult time finding services because there are gender-based stereotypes. And that keeps them at different standards and restricts their resources. It's also common for women to become homeless due to domestic abuse. That is actually the leading cause of homelessness among women, so they also have that to worry about and keeping themselves and, if they have children, their family safe. Due to poor living conditions, the homeless population is at risk for many physical illnesses and conditions. Due to being outside the majority of the time, the homeless population is at risk for developing skin conditions such as sunburns, frostbite, lesions, and bites due to insects, cellulitis, wounds, bruises, etc. Telehealth is great at providing access to rural areas. However, this population struggles with access to a clinic that offers telehealth capabilities as well as adequate transportation to the clinic. This could be decreased by providing better access to clinics that have telehealth capabilities. There is a bias towards homeless individuals. Negative attitudes of healthcare professionals towards homeless individuals are some of the implicit biases. Some members of the healthcare team may interpret homelessness as a choice, and they may have a negative attitude towards those who use welfare services or those who live in shelters. Due to the rate of mental health disorders and drug abuse within the homeless community, many might view homelessness individuals as crazy or dirty. Homeless individuals may be subject to discrimination because they are not viewed as completely human, but rather as objects. And homeless individuals are viewed as not competent or warm which thus creates a bias of being the lowest of the low. Overall well-being is compromised due to these implicit and explicit biases. So this has been our presentation. Here's a list of references that were used to create this information, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.